Good morning. Hello, welcome back to Cultural Translation 21 Day Challenge. This is day 10. Thank you for coming back. If you have been here before, I am Tomo. I'm actually seeing my reflection in this drawing. And yes, so this 21-day challenge I started as a way to sort of solidify my idea of what it's like to culturally translate, but also a way hoping that this will be a way to share all this wisdom, inspiration that I've accumulated over this year through encounters with beautiful writings and Japanese cultures. And yeah, today I felt like hanging this beautiful drawing from my from Tomo Higeta. He is disciple of my grandfather, so he did a lot of weaving and indigo dyeing, but now he's into this drawing small Kannon Bodhisattva. He goes around everywhere and taking inspiration, and he'll draw them with like ink. And yes, I've noticed that I'm seeing my reflection, but I felt like showing you today, so I'm just going with this. So today for day 10, so yes, we are into almost halfway through. I didn't know what to pick, which book or course to introduce, but I kind of felt like if I try to do something else, something will pop up. So I went on to my halfway through writing that I haven't finished. I've only started like thinking of a structure of the writing, and I went back to it to give it another try. And the translation of this book that I've done before popped up, and this is beautiful book, and it's written by Isao Kumakura. He's a professor, museum director. He's a prolific writer as well, mainly on Japanese culture, and this book is about tea. It's called Chanoyu, Wabicha no Kokoro to Katachi, Heart and Form of Wabicha Tea Gathering, Chanoyu Tea Ceremony. Although I don't like to use the word tea ceremony, but anyway, so this channel is about communicating wisdom in Japanese culture, and without going through tea, we cannot complete this challenge. So let's just dive into it. And I wanted to pick this part where he introduces Japanese culture's uniqueness and specificity. He starts off saying this. I would just read Japanese first. 日本の文化そのものが孤独な文化だ。Japanese culture itself is solitary and lonely. 日本の文化の流れを考えてみると、商用樹木文化と太平洋の海洋文化の混合、その上に中国、朝鮮、さらに欧米文化と様々な文化が重なり合いながら今日の日本文化を作り上げている。He basically says Japanese culture is built upon the mixture of continental and also the oceanic, like Pacific, the culture coming from Pacific Ocean, and also China and Korea, and not to mention, not to dismiss Western culture that has come into Japan, and all of it is mixed or layered on top of each other to build up the foundation of today's Japanese culture. And he goes on to say there are many cultures in the world that has taken in so many influences from everywhere, and when you would think it must have such a universality or globality, but then in reality it is actually quite the contrary. It is very specific. It's almost like a mold, some kind of mold that's called Japanese, and any kinds of culture from abroad comes into Japan, it has to go through the mold, and when it comes outside of the mold, it will be changed to the shape of that can merge easily into the existing Japanese culture. So the strength of Japanese culture is that it has stamina that can just vigorously devour any culture that's coming from abroad. But once it's been digested, it has become something of such strong Japanized culture that it's almost impossible to purely export back to the world, outside Japan, as it is. So some may see Japanese culture as special, precious, but it is hard to have dialogue about it because it hasn't been purely exported. And in that sense, Japanese culture is lonely. I definitely agree in some parts, most of the part. Japanese have always looked outside the world because it's an island, and everything that came from outside the sea, outside the country, has been treasured and we treasured it, cherished it, made a treasure precious out of it, tried to take in. Even the kimono, it was initially coming from China and Korea, but somehow we have this phase in our history that where we just close up to the outside world, and that's when we kind of ferment and develop our own culture, and the shape of kimono as we see today as well. But even without the time of closeness, so let's say like Japan is like super open to the world right now, and many people visit Japan, and what they appreciate is that despite everything, despite every skyscraper, the westernized, clothing, fashion, the information, accessibility, there's something just so uniquely about Japan still as it is. I think Trevor Noah said that in his podcast, that just something about it is still Japan. Like he mentioned how there is no rubbish bin in the streets, and somehow it's everywhere, it's kept spotless, clean. Always makes me wonder. So part of it makes Japanese partly very open to the outside culture, or more like eager to take in. Yet there's a part of us, I guess, still resisting to change, or even we cannot change the essence or core because it's not even conscious. I feel it's like subconscious level, that spirituality in us, that's just nobody can touch it because it's just so deeply embedded. And probably that's what makes it unique, and that's what makes it appealing. And I'm certainly eager to dig deeper into it. So this is the thought for today, and I like to kind of dive deeper into some parts, maybe like touching upon more detailed part of tea culture later on, possibly tomorrow. Thank you for being with me today, and I hope to see you tomorrow.